If you asked me prior to 2018 what my favorite anime was, it would be Steins Gate. Unequivocally, I think it's one of the best anime of all time, and it was my favorite anime of all time prior to 2018, because in 2018 something else came out that stole me away. But Steins Gate is definitely still up there as one of my favorites, and I highly regard it as one of the greatest. So today we got what I would probably say is the greatest Steins Gate figure. This came out originally, I believe, October of last year, so it's been exactly a year since it came out, pretty much, and I'm only opening it now, but better late than never. It's actually quite good that I waited a year because I can actually talk about a few things that have recently just happened for this series, but we'll get into that later. Actually, one more thing before we get started. If you're in the market for a new chair, I would recommend the one I'm sitting on right now, which is FlexiSpot's C7 ergonomic office chair, and they're sponsoring today's video. I've been using this chair for almost a year now, and it's been pretty great to me. It kicks the butt out of my old gaming chair, so if you're a person with a gaming chair, I'd recommend swapping out and getting this one. It has multiple different adjustments to fit your needs. Some might say maybe too many. I don't even find myself using most of them, but you have features like the cushion has forward tilts, you can slide the handles up and down. The best part of this chair is definitely the lumbar support. It's form-fitting, so it kind of just moves with your body if you lean back. It's very nice. I would highly recommend going with the footrest option if you're able to do that, because I don't have one and I highly regret it. They have a Black Friday sale coming up, and they also just launched a new C7 Max model having more advanced features. You can also get it in foam or mesh. My gaming chair had foam before, and I wanted to get a mesh one this time, and it's been working out great. So yeah, if you're in the market, I'll leave a link down below. They have a 30-day return policy for a risk-free trial, and also a 10-year warranty with direct replacements for damaged parts. Use my code to save an extra $50 at checkout. Now with that out of the way, let's unbox this thing. Alright, so there you have it. That is Steins Gate's Makise Kurisu from Good Smile Company 1/7 scale reading Steiner version. Now, I will give some props to the box design for this. This thing looks awesome. First off, form factor is actually not that big. This thing is relatively small compared to other 1/7 scale boxes I've gotten, and it's also designed incredibly well. Very thematic for the Steins Gate theme. Obviously, you have the text, the graphs, images of the figure all around the box, especially on the backside. It's actually very reminiscent of the visual novel cover, so pretty cool. No windows. Higher end scale figures, they typically don't have windows for them, which is funny because prize figures don't have windows for their boxes either, but those are regarded as cheap figures. But inside the box, you will have, of course, Kurisu herself and the base that is all perfectly well assembled for you already. And this makes the assembly process so simple, you might even feel just a little bit ripped off when you finish assembling it. 2 pegs on the base, you plop Kurisu down. The extra little step here that you might not even have to do if you didn't really care about the figure's immersion. Her hair has a small peg on it, and there's a small peg hole in one of the monitors. You plop her hair down, and you might have to kind of stretch it a little bit, and then you're finished. The hair is resting on the monitor. A step so small, you might not even realize you have to do it, because I didn't. I actually had to look at the instructions that they provided to actually know that I had to do that. This figure was so simple. Am I missing anything? This was so dead easy that, like, yeah, I almost feel ripped off, kind of. I find it hilarious that they even provided instructions for a figure this simple to put together. This thing retailed for about 30 to 35,000 yen, give or take. But I figured it would be worth that price because the moment Good Smile, because they came out of left field with the announcement for this figure, like there wasn't even any prototypes or anything. They just announced it and then it went up for pre-order like a month later or two, at least from what I remember. Because straight off the bat, looking at it, this was the best Kurisu figure of all time. The figure is actually based off of this image, and I'm pretty sure any Steins Gate fan out there has probably had this as their wallpaper for one of their devices at least once. So if GSC was going to adapt that image into a figure and also include the monitors, because most manufacturers, I'll tell you right now, if like this was done from like Furry or something, it'd probably just be a standing pose of her in that illustration. No monitors, nothing else. But no, GSC fully delivered the whole package. Now, is this worth that 30K price point? I would believe so. The assembly kind of makes it feel like it isn't. It's so simple. Like I was expecting to put together some of the monitors, you know, handle some of the cabling, but no, everything was just pre-assembled. Now, it's not like I'm complaining about that or anything. If it does sound like I'm complaining, I'm not. I'm thankful for that. It's just, I would have liked to place, you know, at least some of the monitors together. I will thank them for doing that though, because I do not want to deal with all of like the cabling and wires and stuff. off, because that would kind of just give me flashbacks to their Mikasa from Attack on Titan, the 3D maneuver gear. That was a kind of a pain in the ass to assemble when I first got that back all those years ago. Kurusu looks perfect. Hair paint job, fantastic. She's got that really orange-brown color that she has from the VN. In the anime, they just made it flat out red, which I don't mind either because she looks good in that color. Love the pose. One hand just covering her eye, and then you have the other eye, the messy bangs. Captured Huke's art style fantastically well, because Huke has a very signature way of doing their eyes. I love the base. It's very slim in profile, obviously, but it has a lot of stuff going on, right? Like you have the old monitors, the IBM PC, the metal UPA, floppy disks just laying around. Even the paper has some scribbles on it that you can't really tell what's written, but nice attention to detail there. I forget what these things are called. The phone attached to the microwave. Another small little detail. They have a mouse here that is upside down. To match the old tech, it's a mouse that has a ball sensor underneath. That's hilarious. This is actually much smaller comparison to like other 1/7 scales I have. Scale sizes between figure manufacturers typically tend to differ, actually, if you never really noticed. So is this the best Steins Gate figure? 100%. For 30,000 yen, it's a no-brainer. This is the must-have Steins Gate figure. Kurusu's gotten like a couple of good figures in the past. You have the cool one from Wave that's doing the Hoen Kyoma pose. You have like one from Kotobukiya that's actually pretty nice. Prior to this one coming out, I thought GSC's Kurusu figure was the best. GSC made a prior Kurusu figure before this one. I can confidently say that was the best one. But now GSC came out with this one, and now this one's the best one. I find it so funny because they're essentially just giving themselves the award again for best Kurusu figure. Like, good job, man. You did it again. One thing I do want to mention that I forgot to say is that Kadokawa looked at this figure and was like, hey, GSC did a pretty good one with this. Let's do our own version of Kurusu with monitors. And we got this. This one just looks really awkward and kind of bad. So if you're gonna get a Kurusu figure, by all means, do not grab this one. In terms of other Steins Gate figures, there's not a whole lot. Like Kurusu being the main heroine, she has the most merch. I think Okabe probably has like one Figma, maybe an Nendroid. I don't actually know if he has an Nendroid. Daru probably has like 0 figures, because like, who wants to own something of him? No offense to Daru. Mayuri has like 1 or 2 scales. Ferris probably, you know what's funny? I feel like Ferris should have a lot, but Suzuha has like 1 really good figure of her on her bike. I think that's from Alter. Alter should have done more Steins Gate figures, just my opinion. Oh, speaking of Steins Gate, they announced it a few days ago, Steins Gate Reboot. According from the name, is a reboot of the original VN. Now, if you're someone like me, you probably saw that and like, what the heck? Steins Gate's VN still holds up incredibly well today. It's not like outdated or anything. I didn't really see the point, but for those of you who have dived deeper into like the visual novel sci-fi adventure series, you know, like Chaos Head, Robotics Notes, Anonymous Code, they have a theory that this is actually supposed to be some type of like tie-in to Anonymous Code. So this Steins Gate reboot is going to be some like FF7 remake type thing where it's going to be the original Steins Gate, but not exactly the original Steins Gate. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be, because like them remaking a masterpiece VN doesn't really make sense to me. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So in terms of availability for this figure, initially when she came out, she was nowhere to be seen after release. Like she was sold out everywhere. She went up in the aftermarket, which makes sense because I mean, look at this thing. They did re-release it pretty quickly. I don't know if you can still pre-order it, but I'll leave it down below if you still can. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.